$1,000 into these two stocks can surpass your full-time job. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but Nokia, ticker symbol NOK, is a Finnish company. They're investing $4 billion in the US. And a lot of that, $3.5 billion, is for AI-related connectivity, 5G, 6G. Nokia is what it sounds like. It's Nokia phones. They now do telecom, now that we don't really use Nokia phones. So edge computing is a big deal for Siri, AI, ChatGPT. How can you get answers quickly over your network quickly? So how that works is basically you have Starlink in rural areas, but in most of the populated US, you have cell towers. And the higher the connectivity, the faster the compute, the lower the latency, blah, 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 the better the experience. So it's worth it, this investment. It's good for Nokia to be US centric, given it's an ADR, it's a non-American company. I don't really get how Asian Depository Receipt is a Finnish company, but we'll jump into that if we need to. And the other company is Reddit, which if you don't know Reddit. So they had $500 million in revenue, up 70% almost year over year. This is a recent IPO, growing company, sideways earnings reaction. Nokia's earnings reaction wasn't great either, a little better than Reddit. Both of these companies seem to be perking up at a time when the market is probably going to take a little break or might go sideways for a bit. So let's jump into the market as a whole and these companies and why I'm talking about them.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
All right, so here's that $3.5 billion for R&D, and then $500 million for manufacturing and capex in Texas, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Texas makes sense. New Jersey is a big power. They have Edison, New Jersey in New Jersey. That's a big power spot. I think it's Edison with a T, not a D, but whatever. And then Pennsylvania is just a big state, at least in New England. I don't know exactly what they've got going on, but in each of those states, they're trying to do this. This is a big deal. Data center, 5G, 6G. I guess Pennsylvania has Pittsburgh and that other big city in Pennsylvania, wherever Trump went to college. All right, so 5G, 6G is a big deal, and they are trying to do networking. So this is all the companies like Coherent, Lumentum, Applied Optoelectronics that have been going absolutely ham recently. This is Lumentum. I mean, this has been a crazy run at a time when the market has basically gone sideways since late October. And maybe I'll talk about Coherent tomorrow, but this one looks interesting as well. It's just what the market's probably going to do is go sideways a little bit, maybe go down the next couple of days. It went on a crazy run itself just in the past week. 5% is pretty crazy in a week. Bitcoin is getting wrecked. I understand I'm sort of just jumping around here, but this is all relevant. I mean, MicroStrategy is trading for less than the value of its Bitcoin. It's like worth 10 billion less net asset value or market cap or enterprise value or whatever. Someone can correct me in the comments. They're not doing so hot. Ethereum gapping down as well. So these Bitcoin plays, of course, are not interesting. Circle is a recent IPO like Reddit. BM&R, not doing well. Cores, which was this AI sort of enabled infrastructure, they voted Core's voted not to get acquired by CoreWeave, which there was a reason for that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it wasn't good. It was a technical reason, I think, like related to the actual processing power and all that. So that's sold off significantly. Maybe that's interesting as a bounce, but CoreWeave is maybe interesting, but I mean, you thought maybe if you thought it was interesting here, it just played games with you. You thought it was interesting here, it just chopped here and then just got wrecked. So anyway, I'm just giving you a little background on how I arrived at these companies. AMD, maybe this is a bounce opportunity. I mean, this is literally what Chris Sane is talking about that we were just looking at in the live. I think that's NVIDIA, but he was talking about AMD. I personally don't think these big companies are where the opportunity is at right now. I get that everyone knows them, so they're fun to talk about. But I do think Nokia is a little more interesting. Maybe if only just because of the risk reward. I mean, could it have a big down day like this? It could, or a gap down like this? It could. But if you're risking a percent or something and you're looking for 10%, that's not crazy to think it could come back right back up to this level. And I don't like to jump into the intradaily if I don't have to. But look at this, right? You risk this level, you risk this close. It's a little spiky after hours, but maybe you just don't look at your portfolio after hours. It usually comes back anyway. Worst case, you get like a 4% loss or some crazy gap down, but that's pretty unlikely. So that's Nokia. And we can talk about fundamentally what's interesting about this company. I don't know why ChatGPT keeps talking about this company in pounds. This is pounds, right? Oh, no, it's not pounds. That's what's going on. What currency is this? This must be the Norwegian currency, right? Because it says they're out of Finland. Oh, I guess Norwegian is not Finland. That would be Finnish. Whatever. You guys obviously know there's a lot of strengths that are not in my wheelhouse. Okay, this is euros. Oh yeah, euros replaced the pound. Anyway, Nokia is definitely in the conversation of the NVIDIA, circular financing companies. And I just showed you why there's some other companies in the circular financing realm that aren't interesting. I can talk about more that aren't interesting, but I don't think that's why you tuned into this video. I mean, NVTS is one that NVIDIA invested in that maybe could get some sort of bounce, but if you're going to go for a bounce right now, you might as well just play CoreWeave, I guess. I don't know. Bounces are not easy. I mean, we saw what happened with Meta. When there was a bounce a bit, it really jumped. I mean, this is 8%. It's no small bounce, but it looked like it might bounce here, and then this is a rough candle. That's a 3% down day. So if you get chopped out, you lose 3%, and then you risk 3% again. I guess you come out ahead, but yeah, I'm not a bounce guy. You guys know that. So anyway, despite all that, I'm sort of talking about a bounce here, but at least it's riding this moving average, and it has that tight risk. So they did get $1 billion from NVIDIA. That was whenever it was, a couple months ago. The stock went up a lot. A lot of companies got $1 billion from NVIDIA. This was October 28th, so right there. It was actually after earnings. So when I was talking about how Nokia's earnings reaction was solid, or well, okay, but a little better than Reddit, it wasn't really their earnings reaction. It was actually that NVIDIA investment. So in reality, after their earnings, they're about, slightly above earnings. As compared to Reddit, it's also slightly above earnings, but this is very choppy. Reddit's interesting because of these inside days, and given the market is where it's at, a bunch of green days and then a little down day, it could have some more inside days. So that's great for Reddit. I mean, the more inside days, the better here. There's not a lot of selling volume and not a lot of selling volume in the market. I mean, the volume here is not big, right? This is selling volume. This is selling volume. And I say selling volume, that's kind of a stupid thing to say, right? Because for every sell, there's a buy. But there's obviously more sells than buys. That's why the stock went down. But when that happens, it's sort of a capitulation, right? And that hasn't happened here. So maybe there'll be a big sell candle down. But at the same time, look at this. Or, I don't know. Here, I guess this volume is pretty similar to this. I don't know. I just feel like an idiot trying to explain macro to you. Like, I obviously don't know what the market's going to do, but obviously I do know a little bit that when it just bounces 4 days in a row, it's probably not going to go up the next day. And that's what happened. We had a down day today. I mean, it's a green day, but it gapped down. So we kind of looked at Nokia level wise. Reddit 217 is interesting. So you can risk like a few dollars and make like $20. It's pretty awesome. So this isn't going to be another important level, 230, just call it. Don't love that it's drifting down, but this is definitely a change of character. And I don't love to draw lines that aren't flat, but that's something definitely happened there. So that's the technical setup there. And then as far as what Reddit's been up to, get rid of this currency stuff. 70% almost year over year growth is pretty solid. They have this margin. This is an increase in daily active users after like 15 years or however long this website's been operating. That's a pretty massive increase. I mean, 20% year over year. Can you imagine if Meta or Facebook or Instagram went up 20% year over year? They literally can't because they have like 3 billion users. But ad revenue went up 75%, which is crazy. So that's good. I know personally from being in advertising circles a little bit, Reddit is always like it was a moonshot. It was sort of a risk because Reddit is known to just tear apart anyone who's trying to sell something, right? So imagine how that works when your business model is you have to get people to sell stuff. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. I don't really want to talk about the fundamentals of this thing too much. We all pretty much get what's going on. And more importantly, this is in the like social entertainment category or whatever, interactive media and services, social media, whatever it's coded for in this archaic finance software. So we can look at other interactive media and services here, aka Baidu, right? The Chinese Google. I don't really get enthused about China right now, but yen did undercut the 200 and then bounced. I don't even know why people look at yen. I mean, the volume is so little. It's $100 million a day. I guess it's the one to look at. FXI maybe is better. That's almost $1 billion a day. That makes a little more sense. Futu setting up a little bit. Just going sideways at least. So it's a low risk entry. I don't know if setting up's the right word, but Google, let's get back on track with the social media companies. You can't really buy that right now, right? I mean, it just went on a huge tear. After going on a huge tear, after their TPUs or there's buzz about their TPUs, which isn't good for OpenAI, but everyone already kind of knew that Google had AI on lock. So those are all that are listed on here. I mean, Snapchat, we don't even have to look at this. This company is basically never interesting. I don't know what I did back here. I guess I was trying to short it after it was already down so much. God knows. But the company's Reddit, and that level's important. And Nokia, talked about levels for that one. It's obviously up a lot, but it's like a penny stock. So after all these years, those are the ideas. If you like these ideas, hit that like button. It helps people like you see the videos. If you want a free course on how to buy stocks before they go up, hit that subscribe. I post it for subscribers, so could be cool. And if you want the best pick of the day, pick isn't really the right word, but you know, the stock that I think is the best idea, head over to stockscommunity.com. I also do a daily drop-in. So if you're trying to improve your stock portfolio, that's the place for you. See you in the next one.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.